Are you over 60 and constantly struggling with high blood pressure? Or maybe you take care of someone that age and often hear things like, "My pressure went up again," or "I woke up with a heavy head." Must be the pressure. If so, this video is for you. The truth is, high blood pressure is sneaky. A lot of times it doesn't show any signs until it's too late. What most people don't know is that high blood pressure can harm your heart, kidneys, brain, and even steal your vision without warning. Heart attacks, strokes, and early death are real risks, especially for those over 60. But here's the good news. There are simple, natural vitamins and habits that can help lower your pressure, improve your circulation, and give your body the support it needs to live longer and better. And you don't need to spend a ton of money or make huge changes. Today I'll show you exactly which vitamins make a difference, why they work, how to use them daily, and which simple habits you can start right now. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now, because here the content is clear, straight to the point, and made for people who want to grow older with health. And don't go anywhere. Watch until the end. Your health could change completely after this video. Have you ever heard the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover"? Well, when it comes to high blood pressure, that's even more true. After 60, the body starts to change. Arteries become stiffer, blood flow slows down, and the heart has to work harder to pump the blood. That's where the danger lies. High blood pressure slowly settles in, without pain, without clear symptoms. And by the time someone notices, they might have already had a stroke, a heart attack, or kidney problems. This condition is so sneaky that many older adults live with high blood pressure for years without even knowing it. They feel dizzy, have neck pain, shortness of breath, but they just think it's just age catching up, but it's not. It's a sign that the body is asking for help. Now imagine this happening in your body every single day. Blood pushing against your artery walls, the heart beating faster, blood vessels wearing down, your organs being under constant pressure. Over time, that takes a serious toll. And many times, the price is your independence, your freedom, or in serious cases, even your life. But here's the thing. You don't have to live at the mercy of this risk. Understanding what really causes high blood pressure is the first step to taking back control of your health. In this video, you'll find out which nutrients your body needs every day to help naturally regulate blood pressure without relying only on medication. But before we go on, tell me in the comments, have you ever had your blood pressure go up? Or do you know someone in your family who's gone through that? Share it down below. Talking about it is important. Alright, now that you understand why high blood pressure is so dangerous and silent after 60, it's time to talk about what really causes the problem. A lot of people think it's just something passed down in the family. And yes, genetics do play a role. But what really makes the biggest difference are your daily habits. The ones we repeat without even noticing, thinking they're harmless, but that end up taking a heavy toll down the road. One of the biggest villains is salt. Too much sodium holds onto fluids, increases the amount of blood flowing through your body, and puts pressure on your artery walls. But it's not just the salt you sprinkle on your food. It's hidden in processed foods, canned goods, seasoning mixes, deli meats, all those things many people eat without realizing the impact. Another major factor is a diet low in nutrients and high in saturated fats. When your body doesn't get the essential minerals and vitamins, your blood vessels lose flexibility, circulation gets worse, and blood pressure goes up. Not to mention lack of physical activity, chronic stress, and poor sleep, which, yes, are directly connected to heart health. And there's more. Smoking, too much alcohol, and being overweight also play a part. The body quietly builds up damage over time, and blood pressure keeps rising without letting up. The good news? All of this can be turned around with small changes. But the first step is recognizing these triggers and starting to tackle them, one by one. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about starting with what matters most. Now tell me in the comments, which of these habits do you think is most present in your routine? Or which one have you already managed to change over time? Share down below. Your experience might inspire someone else too. Now that you know what can cause high blood pressure after 60, I need to tell you something very serious. what the real risks are if you let your pressure stay out of control. And I'm not saying this to scare you, but because many people only find out about these dangers after a big health scare. And sometimes it's already too late to turn things around. Let's get straight to the point. Living with high blood pressure for a long time is like walking around with a ticking time bomb inside your body. The first big risk is a heart attack. When your pressure rises, your heart has to work much harder. It gets worn out, can start to fail, and in a critical moment, it can simply stop. This often happens suddenly, and in many cases, without warning. Another very serious risk is a stroke. High blood pressure can cause blood vessels in the brain to burst or block the flow of blood. And when that happens, the consequences are serious. Loss of movement, trouble speaking, difficulty thinking, and in many cases, the person loses their independence. But it doesn't stop there. Heart failure is another common outcome. The heart just can't keep up with the pressure anymore and starts to fail. The kidneys also take a hit. They need stable pressure to filter the blood properly. And over time, high blood pressure can lead to kidney failure. In some cases, dialysis is needed. Your vision is at risk too. High blood pressure can damage the blood vessels in the eyes, causing partial or even total vision loss. And as if that weren't enough, there are brain effects too, like memory lapses, mental confusion, and even early dementia. That's why controlling your blood pressure isn't just about taking medicine. It's about living safely. It's about keeping your mind clear, your body moving, and staying independent. Now I want to hear from you. Did you already know about all these risks, or did one of them surprise you? Share it down below. This kind of information can really open people's eyes. Now that you understand the risks of living with uncontrolled high blood pressure, I want to show you a path that many people overlook, but that can make a huge difference. Vitamin D. Yes, the same one we often hear about when it comes to bones and immunity, but it also plays a key role in regulating blood pressure, especially after 60. Not many people know this, but vitamin D acts directly on a system in our body called the renin-angiotensin system, which is responsible for controlling blood pressure. When vitamin D levels are low, this system gets out of balance and pressure tends to go up. In other words, vitamin D deficiency could be one of the silent causes of high blood pressure in older adults. And there's more. As we age, our skin loses the ability to absorb sunlight effectively, which is the main natural source of vitamin D. So even people who spend time in the sun might not be getting enough. On top of that, many avoid the sun because of skin cancer concerns or simply don't have the habit of being outdoors. Food sources of this vitamin aren't that abundant either. You'll find good amounts in fatty fish, like salmon, in egg yolks, and in certain supplements. But here's the thing. Before taking any supplement, always talk to your doctor, because too much vitamin D can also cause problems. Now, when levels are balanced, the body works better. Circulation improves, blood vessels relax, and pressure tends to stabilize. It's a small adjustment, but it can have a huge impact on your heart health. So tell me in the comments, have you ever had a vitamin D test? Did you know about this link to high blood pressure? Leave your answer down below. I'd love to hear from you. Alright, now that you understand the role of vitamin D in controlling blood pressure, I want to introduce you to another essential vitamin, and it might be right there in your breakfast without you even realizing it. Vitamin C. Yes, the same one we've always heard about for fighting colds also has a direct effect on blood vessels and can really help those dealing with high blood pressure. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. And what does that mean in practice? It means it fights off free radicals, those molecules that damage the body's cells, including the ones that line your blood vessels. When those vessels are weak or inflamed, they can't expand properly, and that causes your pressure to go up. Vitamin C helps relax those vessels, improving circulation and making your heart's job easier. Studies show that this vitamin can help reduce systolic blood pressure. That's the top number in a blood pressure reading. And for anyone over 60, keeping that part under control is crucial because it's the one that puts the most strain on your vital organs over time. And the best part? Vitamin C is easy to find. You can get it every day from simple, natural foods like oranges, lemons, strawberries, broccoli, bell peppers, and even acerola. But here's a heads up. Even though there are supplements out there, your body absorbs vitamin C much better when it comes from food. Adding these foods to your daily meals is a safe, natural, and effective way to boost your heart and blood vessel health. And the cool thing is, by improving your blood vessels, you also improve oxygen flow throughout your whole body, including your brain. Now tell me in the comments, do you usually eat fruits and veggies rich in vitamin C every day? What's your favorite? Write it down below. Let's share our experiences. Now that you know how vitamin C helps relax blood vessels and improve circulation, I want to tell you about a vitamin that many people have never even heard of, but that's essential for heart and artery health. Vitamin B6. And if you're over 60, what I'm about to share might make a big difference in how your body handles high blood pressure. Vitamin B6 has a very important job. It helps the body control the levels of a substance called homocysteine. That name might sound complicated, but here's what you need to know. When there's too much homocysteine in your blood, it damages the walls of your blood vessels, making them stiffer, inflamed, and more likely to get clogged. In other words, even if your blood pressure isn't that high, if your blood vessels are being damaged by homocysteine, your risk of developing heart problems is still high. And that's where B6 comes in. It helps your body break down this substance before it builds up and causes trouble. On top of that, vitamin B6 also helps produce neurotransmitters and red blood cells, which improves oxygen flow throughout the body. That supports not just your heart, but also your brain, immune system, and even your mood. So where can you find this vitamin? It's in everyday foods like chickpeas, bananas, salmon, liver, potatoes, and even some seeds. Adding these foods to your routine might seem like a small detail, but it could be just what your body needs to start balancing your blood pressure naturally. Now tell me in the comments, did you already know about the importance of vitamin B6? Do you usually eat any of the foods I mentioned? Share your answer below. I'd really love to hear. Alright, now that you understand how vitamin B6 helps protect your blood vessels from the harmful effects of homocysteine, I need to introduce you to vitamin B12. It works hand in hand with B6, but it has such important functions that it deserves special attention. And if you're over 60, this is something you need to pay attention to right now. Vitamin B12 is one of those nutrients that almost no one notices until it's missing. But when it's low, the effects show up quickly. Constant tiredness, weak memory, tingling in the hands or feet, and even mood changes. And what does this have to do with blood pressure? A lot. Just like B6, B12 helps reduce homocysteine levels in the blood. When B12 is lacking, this substance starts to build up, causing inflammation and hardening of the blood vessels, which increases the risk of high blood pressure, stroke, and heart disease. And here's the tricky part. As we age, our bodies naturally absorb less B12. So even if you eat well, you might still be low. B12 also helps form red blood cells, which are responsible for carrying oxygen throughout your body. Well-oxygenated blood flows better, puts less strain on your heart, and helps keep your pressure more stable. The main sources of B12 are animal-based foods, meats, eggs, milk, and dairy products. For those who have dietary restrictions or trouble absorbing it, a doctor might recommend supplements, but this should always be done with proper guidance. Taking care of your B12 levels is a smart way to protect your heart, your brain, and keep your energy up as the years go by. It's a simple step that can totally change how energetic and alive you feel. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever had your B12 levels tested? Have you ever felt any symptoms of deficiency? Share your experience. It might help a lot of people who still don't understand what they're feeling. Now that you've seen how vitamin B12 helps reduce homocysteine and protects your cardiovascular system, I want to show you the other half of this powerful duo. Folic acid, also known as vitamin B9. And if you've never paid much attention to this nutrient, that might be a mistake worth correcting. Folic acid is essential for cell renewal and for keeping your blood vessels healthy. It plays a direct role in forming new cells, including the ones that line and protect your artery walls. In other words, when B9 levels are good, your blood vessels stay more flexible, healthier, and blood flows more easily, which naturally helps keep your pressure in check. On top of that, just like B12 and B6, folic acid also helps lower homocysteine levels, that inflammatory substance we talked about earlier. So it complements and boosts the effect of the other B-complex vitamins, creating a very effective defense line against heart problems and high blood pressure. And the best part? It's found in simple, affordable foods that many people already have at home. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, avocados, beans, lentils, and broccoli. These are common ingredients, but they do wonders for your heart, especially after 60, when circulation tends to slow down and the risk of hypertension naturally goes up. If you don't eat these foods often, maybe it's time to start adding them to your routine. Small changes like this, done consistently, bring big results over time, especially for those who want to grow older with more independence, health, and mental clarity. Now I want to hear from you. Do you usually eat leafy greens? Do you include beans or lentils in your weekly meals? Tell me in the comments. Let's share healthy meal ideas. Now that you understand how folic acid can improve the health of your blood vessels and circulation, let me introduce you to an essential mineral that many people overlook, and that might be quietly missing from your body: magnesium. And honestly, it could be the missing ingredient for finally getting your blood pressure on track. Magnesium works directly to relax your blood vessels. That's right. It helps arteries and veins stay more loose, less tight, which makes it easier for blood to flow and lowers the pressure inside your circulatory system. When your body is low on magnesium, your vessels get stiffer and more tense, forcing your heart to work harder and raising your blood pressure. On top of that, magnesium helps regulate your heartbeat, improves sleep quality, and even reduces stress levels, all of which work together to keep your pressure stable. In other words, it doesn't just act on your blood vessels, it supports your whole cardiovascular system. The problem is that, over time, our ability to absorb magnesium decreases, and modern habits, like eating few vegetables, dealing with constant stress, and taking certain medications, end up depleting this mineral from our bodies. That's why it's so important to include good sources of magnesium in your daily diet. And where can you find magnesium? In simple, powerful foods like pumpkin seeds, cashews, walnuts, spinach, kale, whole grains, and even dark chocolate with a high cocoa content. Just small portions of these foods each day can already start giving your cardiovascular system the support it needs. Now tell me in the comments, did you already know that magnesium had this effect on the body? Do you usually eat any of these foods in your daily routine? Drop your answer down below. I want to know if it's already part of your life. Alright, I just showed you how magnesium helps relax your blood vessels and improve circulation. But now it's time to talk about a mineral that's basically the natural antidote to excess salt in the body: potassium. If you have high blood pressure and you're over 60, understanding how this nutrient works can make a huge difference in your health, and even in your quality of life. Potassium works in a smart way. It helps your kidneys get rid of excess sodium. That's salt, which, as we already know, is one of the main causes of high blood pressure. When your body has too little potassium and too much sodium, the balance gets thrown off, and that's when your pressure starts to rise. On the other hand, when you increase your potassium intake, your body gets better at flushing out the sodium, and that helps bring your pressure down naturally. But potassium does more than that. It also helps with muscle contractions, nerve function, and regulating your heartbeat. And here's the thing, after 60, your kidneys tend to work a little less efficiently. So the more you help your body by eating potassium-rich foods, the better your pressure control will be, and the lower your risk of overloading your kidneys and heart. And it's not hard to find good sources of this mineral: bananas, avocados, sweet potatoes, beans, spinach, and oranges are all foods you can easily add to your daily meals with simple and affordable recipes. Just one important note: if you have kidney problems, it's essential to talk to your doctor before increasing potassium, because every case needs to be looked at individually. Now tell me in the comments, which of the foods I mentioned is your favorite? Did you already know that potassium helps control blood pressure? Drop your answer down below. I'd love to hear from you. Now that you understand how potassium helps balance sodium and ease the load on your kidneys, let me show you another mineral that many people only associate with bones, but that also plays a major role in controlling blood pressure: calcium. Yes, the same one we always hear is great for preventing osteoporosis. Also helps with muscle contraction and the health of blood vessels. Two key points for anyone who wants to manage their blood pressure naturally. Calcium is actively involved in regulating the muscle tone of your arteries. That means it helps your blood vessels contract and relax just right, allowing blood to flow efficiently without putting too much strain on your heart. When calcium levels are low, that balance gets thrown off and pressure can rise. Here's a fun fact: the heart is also a muscle, and it needs calcium to beat in a strong, steady rhythm. So keeping your calcium levels in check supports not just your bones, but also your heart's function. After 60, the body starts having a harder time absorbing calcium from food. On top of that, some people stop eating dairy because of lactose intolerance, which can really lower their intake of this essential nutrient. But calcium isn't only found in milk. You'll get good amounts from natural yogurt, sardines with bones, kale, broccoli, tofu, almonds, and even mineral water with a high calcium content. The key is to mix up your sources and keep your intake steady, because calcium works alongside other nutrients to help keep your pressure balanced and your heart strong. Now tell me in the comments, do you usually eat calcium-rich foods? Or have you had to cut back on milk for some reason? Share your experience down below. It's important for us to talk about this. Alright, I just talked about calcium and how it helps with blood vessel contraction and strengthens your heart. Now it's time to show you something even more practical: the daily habits that, when combined with the vitamins and minerals we've talked about so far, form the foundation for naturally and consistently keeping your blood pressure under control. And when I say habit, I'm not talking about extreme changes or living by strict rules. I'm talking about small actions in your daily routine that, when done consistently, can be the difference between living healthy or becoming more and more dependent on medication and checkups. Let's start with the most well-known but often most ignored: salt. Cutting back on sodium is essential. That doesn't mean taking the flavor out of your food, but swapping refined salt for natural seasonings like garlic, onion, herbs, and spices, which bring out taste without harming your health. Another powerful habit is eating more fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole foods, while avoiding processed and ultra-processed products that are full of hidden sodium and unhealthy fats. Your plate should be colorful, varied, and simple. Regular physical activity is another key. It doesn't have to be the gym. A light walk, dancing, gardening, or even taking the stairs can make a difference. What matters is moving your body every day. It improves circulation, strengthens your heart, and lowers blood pressure. Managing stress is also essential. Meditation, prayer, enjoyable hobbies, talking to friends and family, all of this helps balance your body and mind. Chronic stress keeps your body on high alert and your pressure high, and nobody wants that. Getting good sleep is another factor that's often overlooked. Quality sleep helps regulate hormones, reduce inflammation, and gives your heart a chance to rest. Going to bed early, avoiding screens before sleep, and keeping a calm environment can truly transform your health. Avoiding too much alcohol and staying away from smoking are also musts. These substances directly damage your blood vessels and mess with your pressure. And if you haven't quit yet, think of doing it as a gift to your health. Not as an obligation, but as a choice. And finally, drink water and keep track of your blood pressure regularly. Staying hydrated helps with circulation, and monitoring gives you control. You'll understand your body better and can take action before things get worse. Now, tell me in the comments, which of these habits are already part of your routine? Which one do you feel you need to improve? Write it down below. Sharing our experiences is a powerful way to take care of our health together. By now, you've seen that controlling high blood pressure isn't just about medication. It's about knowledge, choices, and daily actions. Every vitamin, every mineral, every habit we talked about here plays an important role, and together they can transform your health, your energy, and even the way you age. And you know what's best about all this? It's never too late to start. Even if you're already taking medication or have lived for years with uncontrolled pressure, there's still time to turn things around. With small daily actions, eating better, moving a little more, sleeping well, and taking care of your mind and body, you can gain more energy, more independence, and a better quality of life. But a quick reminder, before following any of the advice we've shared here, talk to your trusted doctor. Only they can fully assess your health, request the right tests, and guide you on the best path. Everybody is unique, and having a professional by your side makes all the difference. Now, if you enjoyed this content and want to keep learning how to take care of your health in a natural, practical, and safe way, subscribe to the channel right now. Click the button below, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with someone who might need this info too. It could be a friend, a family member, a neighbor. Together, we can spread more health around. And tell me in the comments, which tip did you like the most? Which one are you going to start using this week? I read everything and would love to hear from you. Take good care of your heart. It's your engine, your rhythm, your life. See you in the next video.